So what we're going to do is we're going to take this vent, we're going to put it up here, and then hopefully that's going to divert some of this air out of the shed here. So I'm going to set this camera down, make my markings, and then we'll go through the steps on how to cut the hole and get this situated. We're going to take this tape measure here, and we're going to measure out the length and the width of this back part, and then we're going to transfer that onto this cardboard, and this is going to be our template. What I did here is I took my level and put my level up here, and then I taped the corners, and then after I taped the corners I ran that piece through the middle there, and now I'm going to mark it out. After the template was marked, I drilled 4 holes in each corner, and I just have a standard pair of 10 snips. And I'm really not worried about what you see right here, because when you put the vent on, it's actually going to cover up the red marking here. And so I'm just going to kind of get as close to as possible as I can to the marking, and then I'll go in and I'll bend it out a little bit to get a secure fit. So I'm going to stop this so I can go ahead and cut. When I first tried to fit the vent, it was just a hair off. So what I did is I took a pair of pliers, and from the inside I went over here and I kind of pulled back, and when you pull back on both of these sides here, it's going to free up a little bit of space from left to right. I was good from top to bottom. So now we're going to fit this guy and see what it looks like here. So we're going to take the air vent, and there it is. Now all we need to do is button it together. We're good to go. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut 2 pieces of 2x4, 5 inches a piece, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put each 5-inch piece on the left and right hand side on the inside of the vent. That way, whenever we come back out here, you have these 2 holes that we're going to tap into. That way it'll secure it to the 2x4 and make it nice and sturdy. Is one modification that I did. If you notice in this packaged deflector that I'm going to use to keep rain from getting in and out, you'll notice on the sides here there are 2 magnets. And what I did with a flathead is you can just push really carefully those magnets out, because what I'm going to do now is where the magnets were, you have to forgive me here, one-handed, that's where I'm going to position my screws, and these deflectors will allow you to adjust in and out accordingly up to a certain length. That way I don't have to worry about drilling anything on the side here, and they're a little bit cheaper than the other ones that were already slotted. About what we've done so far here, I put my level up, kind of set good on its side, I got it leveled up. What I did before anything is I put this first one in. I'm doing this by myself, so you have to put the screw through the vent deflector, and then you can either screw that first and then back it out, or just start it like that. Once I got it in, I backed it out a little bit, and then you can see here I have that cut 2x4 that I put on the back to reinforce it. Now it's in the 2x4, but it's not cinched completely down. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take this other ridge deflector here, and what we're going to do is we're going to get it all lined up, and I'm going to the very bottom of this to give me the perfect height to get in there and adjust that. And then what I'll do is with one hand I'll hold the drill, excuse me, it's so hot outside, and then I'm going to hold the back part with the 2x4, and we're just going to repeat the process. So let's do that really quickly here. So let's check it and see how it's working. Make sure that you leave a little bit of clearance right here when you add this 2x4 if you so choose to frame it up, because this is the piece that moves the parts that open and close. So you can see that would be closed. Still gives a little bit of air flow through, but not as much. And you open it up, and I'm hoping that if I install, our goal is to put one right here on this other piece, just opposite And hopefully it'll keep it a little bit cooler, even if it's just a few more degrees cooler, because in that shed during the heat right now, it's probably close to 95. It's probably in excess of 120 degrees in there. Here is the finished product here. My vents in. I'm able to open, close my vents. Let's see on the inside, I got the wood back here in the back. Now what I did was, these were the screws that were supplied, but I had some, as you can see right here, these sheet metal screws that go on a roof from the barn, and what I did is I took the rubber washer off of them. Now you can use the hardware that they supplied you, but I ended up using a bigger diameter screw just to get a better bite. But I think on the ones on the back, I'm just going to go ahead and do this. There's really no benefit of using that other than to, as you can see right here, that rubber kind of presses on that plastic and allows it to maybe expand and contract without cracking it. And then what I'll do is I'll go in and I'll caulk these holes, and if I need to, I'll caulk around this as well on the inside. But that's how to vent a shed using cheap. Cost me about $10 per vent.